live.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in on To The Point with
Skip.
and the King. You guys know where to find us by now. You guys are watching us on YouTube. Click subscribe, click like, let us know what you think. Keep it open in the comments. We're loving this, especially after our last one. God, Skip.
What's up?
Man, our playoff brackets fell to pieces.
Oh yeah,
due to the multitude of injuries that have happened, right? So there's a lot of what if, but we don't live in a world of would have, could have, should have. We're living in a world of what's going on. So I gotta ask you, like, man, how do you feel about this Milwaukee versus the Phoenix Suns? Neither of us saw that coming. We didn't see it coming.
No, not at all.
It?
Well, obviously, as we know, I picked Clippers versus Nets. I still think that those two teams were likely the teams that would have been in this finals if in an alternate reality where not every single star on the planet got injured during the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, we're here because of injuries, right? Like, that's the only, you said it, that's the only way that we got to this point. You look at the Suns, they knocked off the Lakers, no AD. LeBron was even hurting in that series. We did call that, but okay, so that's their first round series. All right, second round, take on Denver, no Jamal Murray, romp right through Denver. I mean, they took care of business. Don't get me wrong. Like, Jokic is no joke, and they just ran that series. But that's still like they were missing their second best player. And then they go up against the Clippers, and it's looking like it's going to be this good, tight, tough fought series back and forth. And then Kawhi goes down. And then who gets injured? Kawhi goes down. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, yeah. So the Suns are in the finals. Are they a deserving finals team? I mean, on paper, they're a very good team. But now they're in the finals and they get to play the Bucks without Giannis. So I mean, come on, man! Like we cannot call the Raptors championship tainted anymore. We can't throw the word asterisk around anymore, because this is, if not that I'm saying they don't deserve it, but if there was ever
the only asterisk should have been last year when the Lakers won. But
the point is, there's an asterisk every year, right? Like there's always some star that's injured. So anyway. The Suns, like, yeah, they ran the playoffs. They did a great job. They went 12-4 on their way, and there was like an 8-game winning streak in there. There were some dominant performances. They've looked the part. Like, don't get me wrong, they've played really well, and they are 100% deserving of being in this spot. But you can't help but look and see, like, what if the Lakers were healthy? What if the Clippers were healthy? And then you go over to the Eastern Conference, and Milwaukee. I mean, you could say, yeah, they had a tougher path to the finals than the Suns, but did they really? I mean, Miami wasn't.
Did they? With Atlanta? Was Atlanta for real?
Yeah, I mean, Miami wasn't in. Well, going back to the first round, Miami was not as good as last year. They were a first round fodder this year. Brooklyn looked like it was going to be the finals preview. That was a hell of a series. That was a back and forth slugfest. But they beat the Nets without Irving, and with a hobbled Harden. So, like, yeah, that's impressive. But, you know, Durant puts his foot 1 inch further back on that three at the end of regulation in Game 7. And that is a win for the Nets. And this is a Nets versus Suns series right here.
You could also argue, what if Trae Young didn't step on the ref split?
Yeah, and then there's the Trae Young injury, too. And just in general, I don't really think Atlanta was an Eastern Conference Finals team. I think they were another team that was lucky to be there. So there's a lot of luck going around in this playoffs. But here we are.
We also saw Philly with Embiid. Right?
Yeah, and Philly with Embiid. But here we are. This is the finals we have. And, like, don't get me wrong. These are two really good teams. I think the Suns have really earned their way. And we might see Chris Paul get his ring. So this is exciting.
Well, yeah, it's taken 16 years for Chris Paul to get into the finals.
Yep. Conference finals even.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially after you're under Doc Rivers for a couple of years, and yeah, we all know where that's going. Let's not get into that. You guys can get into that and let us know what you think about that. Woo! But I think this is going to shape up to be a great finals. Both teams obviously got 12 wins. Phoenix only had 4 losses through their run to get there. Milwaukee has had 5 losses, mind you, one without Giannis, Giannis, to our Greek friends out there. By the way, if Milwaukee wins, you're going to see a Greek flag behind me, and you're going to see me wear blue. But, Skip, can I ask you, with the way it's shaping up, there are 3 major players on each team. You have Giannis, you have Khris Middleton, you have Drew Holiday on the Milwaukee side. Now, on the Phoenix side, you also have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and that phenom who I love, DeAndre Ayton. How do you think this is going to play out? And give me your pick and how many games.
Well, okay. So you want my pick? I'll give you my pick right off the top. My pick is Phoenix in 5. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think Giannis is going to play. And I don't think that Giannis, if Giannis does play, I don't think he's going to be Giannis. I don't think he's going to be MVP Giannis. So the way I have it broken down is if Giannis doesn't play, this is a fairly easy series for the Suns. If Giannis plays and he's not himself, this is a series that favors the Suns. And if Giannis is himself, is MVP, 40 points a game, like just rampaging Giannis, I think this series is basically a wash, maybe slightly favors the Bucks, but about a wash. So I think if you go down that list, like obviously Giannis, I think is the number 1 player in this series. But if we're getting Giannis, if we're getting real Giannis. If we're not getting real Giannis, then I think the number 1 player in the series becomes Booker, and that's exciting. Ooh. And then you go down the list and you say, okay, so the second best player for Milwaukee would be Middleton, and Middleton and Booker going at each other, like that could be a lot of fun. They're very similar players. I think I'd give Booker the edge, but Middleton can sort of hang with Booker, and so you can kind of go down the list, right? So Middleton hang with Booker, and then you go down to the center position. Ayton, he's going to dominate Brook Lopez, who, one of them's young. So? One of them's young and up and coming. I mean, Brook Lopez, he's got some vet moves. But he's not he's not on the same level.
I'll take
especially at this point in his career. Obviously, he's got the 3-point shot, but he's not going to be. I think Ayton wins that matchup. Obviously, you go down to Chris Paul. I skipped over Chris Paul and Drew Holiday. Sorry. So the next tier.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Chris Paul and Drew Holiday. So that's where you kind of say Drew, like he's a nice little point guard. He didn't really look that much better than Eric Bledsoe in that last series. I think Chris Paul.
He's bigger than you. What do you mean little?
I think Chris Paul wins that matchup pretty easily. I think the point guard versus just another point guard who is a little overrated. So I think that favors the Suns. So like now I'm going down this list. Like we got maybe Middleton. We don't have a single edge for the Bucks so far. So we got point guard. What did I do? I did point guard.
You did point guard, you did center, and you did shooting guard.
So then we go down to I'm going to match up Jay Crowder with PJ Tucker because even though they might,
that's going to be a defensive matchup.
Yeah, they might switch positions a bit.
Wicked to watch.
Yeah, they're just both filthy vets. Like they're going to do all the dirty work. They're going to play defense, create problems for the other team, like be the man in the post kind of thing. But that's kind of a wash. And then we get to the Giannis position.
Yeah, they balance each other.
And this is where the series could swing in Milwaukee's favor. If Giannis is going up against Mikal Bridges, like come on, that's Giannis all day. That's domination. But if Mikal Bridges is going up against Bobby Portis, like then that's just another position that Phoenix is favored. So I basically think if Giannis is not himself, then Phoenix is going to dominate this series. I think, but here's the thing. Here's the qualm with that. If Giannis comes back and he can be 90% of Giannis, 85% of Giannis, who the hell in the Suns is going to guard him?
Nobody.
Tell me one player on the Suns can guard Giannis.
Nobody. It'll have to be Ayton and Tucker.
I'm looking
doubling on him.
Tucker's on the Bucks. You mean Crowder?
Well, yeah. Sorry, Crowder. My bad. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just getting excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Crowder. I think Crowder's like the closest thing to a Giannis stopper. But like, do you think the Suns have what it takes to build the wall to stop Giannis from scoring in transition? No. I mean, no. I just don't think they have anybody. Like, maybe you see them throw in Saric a little bit, but like, I don't think he's like a defensive stopper. Like, I don't know. Like what do they do about Giannis if Giannis is just Giannising and dominating? I don't know if they have an answer. And so that's where I think that the series could swing in the Bucks' favor. And the other thing is just, you look at this, and I've been saying all postseason long, like the Suns, they're young, they're exciting, they're exhilarating, but there's one player on that roster that's ever been in the postseason before, and that's Chris Paul. I mean Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder.
Skip, I got a fun fact for you.
Hit me.
Two NBA finals, 2 years in a row. Last year with the Heat, and this year with the Suns.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Crowder. Like, he's one of these guys that you look at him on the other team and you're like, that guy doesn't scare me. But he's been in the playoffs 8 straight years. He's been to the finals 2 straight years. Like, he's got that Danny Green factor going, where he's just good enough to be just good enough to be the 5th best player on like a really good team,
like a Robert Horry kind of thing. Well, we're not even getting there.
Yeah, like a little bit of a different role, but yeah, like a player who just fits really well around stars. That's kind of the vibe. Yeah. With a Jay Crowder type.
Yeah, so, especially that alley-oop that he threw up with almost no time left, which they called the alley-oop. That was great.
Well, so that is true. They do have a couple of vets. I mean, even Saric you could throw in there, but they're key guys like Booker and Ayton. This is their first run in the playoffs. And Milwaukee, they've been there before. They've failed in the playoffs before. They've had all this pressure building. It sort of feels like it's their year in a sense.
They've lost to your Toronto Raptors.
But I look up and down, and every prognosis I'm seeing has the Suns winning this series. A lot of it has to do with Giannis, but I think the Suns maybe just are the better team. Like, it's really hard to say.
Skip.
Yeah.
You're picking the Suns?
Suns in 5. That's what I said.
I'm picking the Bucks in 6.
All right.
That's what I'm picking. Picanis Malacas out there. I know you guys are going to love that one too. I'm telling you, I believe if Giannis, he was supposed to come back for Game 7 if they went to a Game 7. So he's expected to come back. So Giannis, even if Giannis is at like 60% of what he is, I strongly believe the Bucks can pull this out in 6. Like, look at what he's pulled up, dude. Look at his numbers: 28 points a game, almost 13 boards a game, 5 assists, just over 5 assists a game in the playoffs. Just in the playoffs. And remember, I had him. Shout out to Andrew Reese when we spoke about this. I had him as my MVP. Because I strongly do believe he can carry that team. But then you got Middleton, you got Drew Holiday, look at what Lopez did the other night alone. Okay? But do you know who's the ultimate winner out of all of this?
Who's that?
Torrey Craig.
Whoa, what do you mean? Torrey Craig, how so?
Torrey Craig, because he was on Milwaukee at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And then he landed in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So no matter what, he wins it. He gets a ring.
Nice.
He gets one of these, baby. He's the ultimate winner. We're losers in our playoff bracket, Scamp. But this guy's the ultimate winner. I don't know how he pulled it off. I don't know what's going on. But
Can you imagine getting a ring for a series that you lost?
I know, right? What, like, are you throwing the game or something?
Yeah.
Right. But I do have one fun fact for you, Skip.
Hit me.
Zero players in this NBA Finals have ever won a championship. Only one of them, Jay Crowder, has ever been to a Finals.
That's interesting. I didn't know that stat. I have to look that one up and see if it's accurate.
Oh, it is. Oh, trust me. You know I do my shit.
And you know these two teams have one combined championship between them in their entire history.
I also have another fun fact for you. Do you know that right now with Milwaukee going to the NBA Finals, they are the only NBA team that has ever played in the Finals on the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference.
Oh, I'd have to look that one up too. I don't know if I believe
that.
Oh,
yeah, buddy. Go look it up. All you guys out there, go look it up. I'm telling you, that's what happened. Skip, I got a bunch of stuff for you, man.
These finals you're coming at me with the numbers today. Damn, I didn't know a lot of these. But yeah, I mean, it should be a good series. Like, let's just see where it goes. Like, if Giannis comes back, this could be a slugfest. It could go to 7. It could be a really fun series. But like I said, all the prognosticators are saying the Suns. I looked at 538. It's 2-1 for the Suns. I looked at Bleacher Report. There was like 6 of 7 people predicting the Suns. So, I mean, if I was a betting man and I looked and I saw that the Suns are minus 170 to win and the Bucks are plus 150, I think that's a little skewed. I don't think I'm that high on the Suns. I think if you look at those numbers, maybe you want to lay some money on the Bucks. Like, not that I'm suggesting you gamble. I'm not a gambling expert, but yeah, if you're gonna like bet the underdog, I believe this. But if you're asking me 50-50 who's gonna take this series with Giannis's health questions, I gotta go Suns.
Okay. Here's the other thing too. Here's in your favor, Skip. The Phoenix Suns are the only NBA playoff team this year that did not have an injured player during the playoffs.
Well, I mean, Chris Paul had his shoulder. Chris Paul had his shoulder. He missed a couple games. He had COVID. No, he had a shoulder injury and he had COVID. So.
That was just one game, really. Yeah. It wasn't a major injury. So yeah. I think that's why the bet 365 or whatever the hell you said. I think all those and 538, whatever, and the Vegas odds. I think that's why they favor the Suns. But let me tell you something, man, my man. I know you and I are at odds on this one, bro. But I'm telling you, if Giannis comes back, a Greek freak, that big old Malacca, I'm telling you, it's going to be the Bucks. And like I said, he deserved the MVP, and he's deserving of a championship after so many MVPs. Chris Paul is also deserving of it as well. So I think I kind of agree with you. After 68 NBA seasons and having that lockdown when he should have went to the Lakers with Kobe and they would have won it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like
again,
you look back at some Chris Paul highlights and it was a totally different NBA when he was a rookie. Like 2009, like he was playing in 2009. Like half of these guys weren't even born yet, or weren't even out of grade school yet, I should say. Yeah. So, Skip, do you have anything else you got to say about these finals? Because, dude, I'm hurting because this is the second time in almost 40 years that I've been wrong on the NBA finals. Yeah. Do you have anything? I think I covered it. I think just enjoy it, guys. Like, it'll be a fun series. I really hope Giannis comes back just to make it fun. Like, my bracket's busted, so I'm just gonna cheer for good basketball at this point. And I think if Giannis comes back, it's not going to be a very good series. So yeah, hopefully Giannis can come back and make it a slugfest. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. More importantly, what we have to say is what you guys got to say. We've seen you guys online. We've seen you guys commenting and a lot of good discussion on our last post. So let's keep that going. Keep getting at us. You've been giving us your hot takes. We love to hear it. We always look to respond.
And there's a lot of you guys out there that I've gotten back on. Some of you guys got some really good insight, and we would love to have you on the show. Yeah, bring it on. We more than enjoy it. Come on, get at us. So you guys can find us, Simon Broder, right there, simonbroder.com, amazon.ca. Go buy the book, Running the Point. You guys can find me, King Hussein, on all social media platforms. You guys can find us, To The Point, Instagram, Facebook, To The Point Raps on Twitter, and youtube.com/To The Point. And if you can't do that and you just go on the app, just click in the quotes, Skip and King. You will definitely find us for more insight about basketball and the NBA. So, guys, get at us. On behalf of myself and Skip, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and
Peace.